Hey, what is up, guys? My name's iirix. Today I'm going to be looking at a card. As soon as I saw the power and toughness and the mana cost, I got super excited because I immediately thought Rakshasa Death Dealer. But it's kind of it doesn't feel like a Rakshasa Death Dealer, not even close. Today's card is Grim Flayer. For black green, you get a 2/2 human warrior. Trample. Whenever Grim Flayer deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest back on top of your deck in any order. Delirium. Grim Flayer gets +2/+2, as long as delirium requirements are met. This looks rather interesting. I immediately thought Rakshasa Death Dealer because of the +2/+2, but then I remembered it had Regenerate, and that made it a little bit more intimidating because you could swing with it, get big, or it could sit there and block, and no matter what it's blocking, it can get big to kill it, or if it couldn't get that big, you just regenerate it and it still lives. That was really cool. This guy does a little bit different. Rakshasa Death Dealer is straight combat. This is more for your delirium decks, and it's nice that it has a delirium ability built onto it, so if you already have delirium, he feels a little bit more worth having getting a slot in your deck. Because then, if you already have the delirium for black-green, you get a 4/4 trample. Very nice. You can also kind of continue to use his ability to help out some reanimate shenanigans if you happen to have any. But the nice thing is, you can also just use him if you don't have those and you don't really need delirium anymore. You just throw away some lands late game. Whatever cards that are useless to you. It helps filter out the top of the deck, and I like that part a lot too. This guy is just so good. I like him a lot. But you look at him, and the first thing that I don't like about him is when Grim Flayer deals combat damage to a player. Now it gets a little bit more tricky. Yes, at 2 mana, you can have him swing on turn 3 at the opponent. But most of the time, the opponent's going to have something down by turn 3. At least all the games I play against. About 90% of the time, the opponent got something down by turn 3 to block with. Even if you went first, they still have a very high chance of having something down. Now, green and black, you can either make it big, or you can kill something. So it's not like you can't get around it. It's just one of those things that, yes, it's going to have some kind of restriction on it, but I feel like it might be a little bit too hard to get to. If that's one of your main delirium things, that kind of sucks. You have to get this guy to hit the opponent. But if you already have delirium, it makes it a little bit better because you're less focused on it. You got it other ways. But, you know, it's one of those things. I have mixed feelings about it. I do like him a lot. It's just making the cards go in the graveyard, I feel, is a little bit challenging. Once you have delirium, a lot easier, though. So, looking at Grim Flayer, I'm going to say, in draft, I'm going to give him a 3.5. In draft, you're not trying to hit delirium so much. You can, but I believe you'd rather be using his ability to kind of filter the top cards so you get better bombs and removal and just good stuff and toss out those lands later on in the game. I feel like that's where he's really going to shine for draft. The delirium is a bonus, but not your main focus. In standard, a 3.5, I have been seeing delirium decks popping up here and there, and I do feel like this is going to be an auto-include, at least a 2 or a 3 of in those delirium decks, because if you get this guy down and he swings and he connects, that helps delirium so much, especially if you have like an artifact creature in your deck, you just throw that away. That counts as 2 different things right there. Maybe if you're playing it in modern or casual, you know, enchantment artifact or enchantment creature. I don't think there's an enchantment artifact creature, but yeah, there are options, there are possibilities. I like him a lot because of that. Good synergy, I feel, with the delirium. Modern, a 2.5 because, like I said, I jumped ahead a little bit there. But like I said, you could use him to get the delirium going. But I don't think that delirium is big in modern. I think if you're going to be using him, it's more to control the top of your deck to make it better draws, and at least get the information. You know what's going to be coming up. If you don't throw anything away, you'll at least know what's coming. You can kind of shuffle it a little bit the way you like. But maybe you'll see him with some reanimation style decks. That could be. I don't think it'll be a top choice, but it could do something. EDH a 2. I don't think you're going to do a lot with him in EDH. because he's a little small And if you're trying to do delirium, you have other options that kind of fit the format better. So, you know, they're a little bit more expensive. Or maybe you just want to, in green, play something that, look at the top 5 cards, take a land, and throw the rest away. Those are out there. You know, the Vessel, most recent one that I can think of, the green Vessel will go in. You look at the top 4 cards? I should have looked that up. I believe it's the top 4 cards, and then you can take a card, and the rest go to the grave. That can really get your delirium going fast. So I think you'd rather go with that over this if you're trying to do delirium in EDH. I don't recommend it, though. So that's what I have to say about Grin Flayer. If you like what I have to say, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, costs you nothing. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.